YouTube, what up? I've been trying to start this video for like an hour and a half. I wasn't planning on doing a video today. But I was checking YouTube's and I saw a video from Targeted in Ireland. It's this one. It's a lady named Laura.
Hey guys.
And so, as soon as I was done watching it, she gets pretty upset in the video. And so as I was listening to what she was saying, I just felt compelled to do a video, because the things she gets upset about are things that I find myself frequently upset about. So I guess, Laura, I'm gonna comment this link to this video that I'm doing on your page. You've probably seen my other comments. I just want to like put a face to it. You're not alone. I'm way in America, and it's the same thing. Yeah, so please be less upset, because I like listening to you talk about it. But I figured, I mean, that's not really enough. See, if I would have done a video just for that, it would have been 2 minutes, and I can get a lot more out of a video. So I wanted to talk about first this BlueLeaks document. On page 24 of this document, again, I made a mistake in not downloading the documents, but in page 24 of this document, talks about the goddess Isis being a component of mind control. And that's really strange, because when all that stuff happened in 2015, and I got my probation transferred back to St. Clair County, Illinois, I was still like pretty big into Tor and shit like that in deep web. And I'd come across an onion, just magically popped up. How about that, right? But it talked about how Isis was like the mother of all the indigos. And all the indigos are supposed to worship Isis and shit like that. And what was... I mean, it was like what was written was like curtailed to appeal to me. There were like pieces of it that seemed like they were modified based off of conversations I had had prior to that. So, I mean, as I was reading it, it all sounded really cool, because I like alien stuff. And it you know, Isis was also an alien in this version of events that was going to come back and get us all. But as I was reading it, and I had mentioned it to my mom and stuff. She never had much to say about it. It is super weird. But, you know, that was something I let go. I wasn't like taking screenshots and collecting everything yet at that point. So it was just like something I saw and I was like, but I think it was all deception and subversion, as mentioned in that document. And since it said that at the end of that document, I know for a fact I can bring that up now and know what the fuck I'm talking about. And you know, it wasn't much longer after that I tried killing myself. So it was crazy to see that in the document. And so, yeah, I mean, how do you make a video and put it on YouTube talking about this shit? It's super uncomfortable. Because I know people all think it's weird, and I'm in Moberly, so, you know, people in Moberly just want to tell me to quit doing meth and shit, despite being clean for 2 fucking years. And, you know, I'm pretty sure Moberly Police Department wasn't behind that onion popping up on my computer. As much as I love my healthy rivalry with those folks, I think by that time, you know, they were just concerned with covering their own asses. And people took advantage of those hostilities as my broader experience escalated. But yeah, that's a thing that really happened. So when I see it in a document and know that I'm not crazy, somebody else had the same idea for some reason. Yeah, I mean, what am I supposed to make of that? What would you guys make of that? And anyways, in addition to that, Laura, there's another document from Blue Leaks. From the Office of the Private Sector. Kind of read it. Go over it so you guys can. And Laura, what I've gathered from, you know, I can't speak much for Ireland, but dead to fucking rights. We have our law enforcement. We know now that they know about this shit. And they have nothing to say. There's a lot of reasons my situation should have been intervened on, and it probably would have if these fucking cops weren't it's weird as fuck, dude. Weird as fuck. And I don't know. Tired of being in fucking Moberly. I didn't want to come back here in the first place. Like, I remember driving back here when I moved back here this time. I bawled as soon as I was, like, halfway. And now I've been here, and all that stuff happened when I worked at Bratcher's. Fucking McKiff, Sarah, Kristen, Ricky. Just want to come in like it's not nothing until I finally gave McKiff that printed out paperwork and asked him why he wasn't mentioned in the violation report. And he didn't have anything to say. Despite expressing my concerns about what was going on there and telling people what was going on, eventually I quit. And when I went back to talk to my main boss about that, Jim, your words were, "You should have told someone what was going on." That's what I have to say about it. So anyways, I'm in this fucking gang-stalking torture fest in fucking Missouri. And I feel pretty upset, like Laura feels upset about the gaslighting and the bullshit. And, I don't know. Everybody seems to have it all figured out. But I kind of feel like at this point it's just like active denial on a TI and shit. And then I was talking to someone last night, and she was like, "You're not crazy." And it was really nice to hear that, because nobody ever talks to me about anything that's posted on my page. Like, everyone's advice is just let it go. Like, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? It's ironic how that dogma changes when you apply it to different situations. And it really, reveals other people in that process. I don't know. I'm excited to, it's looking like it's going to be either January or February. I'm going to go to Scott Air Force Base again. It's going to be my last visit, my last dance, live streaming there. And I'm going to print out some things that I've collected. And I'm going to ask nicely for them to retrieve a copy of the statement I gave with base police there several years ago on gang stalking. You know, since it's our military and we support the troops and they love us so much, I expect them to go, into whatever filing cabinet they have and pull out a copy of that to give me. And if they can't, it kind of seems like they didn't give a shit anyways. So I'll explain to the grunts in the visitor center how, the U.S., like, supported ISIS and shit. Islamic State, not the goddess. I don't know where the American government stands on the goddess ISIS. But yeah. And maybe I'll show them that and explain to them why I'm super hurt that every time I've gone there, it's just been like a fucking runaround. And then maybe together I'll walk on base with the people from the visitor center, and we'll start citizens arresting top brass that knew about the U.S. government's facilitation of Islamic State. And we'll save him. We'll stop it all. We'll fix it. But anyways, I'm going to make that content. It's going to be way better than whatever this is turning into right now. And then the first thing I'm going to do is shoot that straight through the internets to Syria so they can see it and see how they treat us when we call out our government on this bullshit. The Middle East should see how brainwashed we all are. It's probably pretty important. But I don't know, that's all I got. I thought this would turn out a little bit different. Just, I haven't even smoked weed today. Because I wanted to get some things out, but it's just, it seems like I'm never allowed to connect with people that, like, feel me on this shit and that can carry on a conversation with me about this shit. It's like I survived and exposed some shit, and now I'm just being, like, trafficked through having survived the ordeal. And that's, the bite model talks about that. So, I don't know, man. I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Is, ISIS an alien coming to save the indigos who are all diagnosed, like, with neurological disorders and shit? The alien's gonna come save us? Or was me getting that onion just, like, to get me to talk more overtly and use the acronym ISIS so they could put it in my visa warrant? I think it would be super cool if a big giant alien chick blasted down from the sky and took me away from Earth. I would love that. I think a lot of us would just... I'd jump straight on board, dude. I wouldn't even question it. I would just go. But I think it's more likely that that's all, like, bullshit. It's all bullshit, like the actual... I don't know, man. I don't know, YouTube. You guys got it all figured out, so maybe you can explain that to me. And, I don't know how to follow that up. And it's all true. I'm not lying about any of this. That happened. There was a lot of other things that happened that I can't prove. So why would I give those things space compared to all this other stuff that I can prove? I think it's some weird cult shit, dude. And when I find out who my perpetrators are, I am going to work tirelessly to target you. Tirelessly. And I'll stop when you tell the truth about it. The perpetrators will become the new victims. I think that's going to be true. Because people are going to get super mad when they find out about all this. Super mad, dude. It's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. But anyways, I'm going to do a dab to send you guys off. It's 15 minutes now. If you guys made it through this 15 minutes, you deserve a dab. And if you don't have any dabs, I'm going to do a dab for you right now. And you can all watch it. I don't really give a shit. But yeah, anyways, I'll just, whatever all this shit is, right? Justice for James all the way. That's a thing. And I will keep going. Giving up isn't an option. And there are people that need help. That if I can get my stuff blown up and going, I'm gonna give them the spotlight to do their great works. And the government is not looking forward to that. I was shaking so much because this shit gives me so much anxiety. Who puts shit like this on YouTube? Me and Laura, I guess. And Generation Z or whatever. Other people do. I don't know how other people do it so comfortably. Maybe it's different on the outside looking in, but... a lot of the... I don't know. I don't even know. That was a good dab. Have a good day, guys.